So, user-generated content in Trials Evolution. We did have a level editor in Trials HD, and we did have user-generated content, but it was a little trickier to share your creations with people. You pretty much had to have them on your friends list. We've solved that problem in Trials Evolution with something we call Track Central. This is where you can get immediate access to all the tracks and user-generated content created by other players. So you don't have to have them on your friends list. You simply come into this screen and you can sort through these various feeds here that we've created, which help you find the content you're looking for. Now these feeds are actually dynamic, so we can add new feeds, take feeds away, and kind of call out different types of content. With, like, for example, the Red Links picks, these are maybe some tracks or mini games that users created that people on our staff thought were really cool. Others are, straightforward, most downloaded this week, highest rated, newest multiplayer tracks, things like that. But you're not limited just to feeds. You can also create a custom search any way you'd like. So you simply go in here and you're like, well, I'm only looking for extreme tracks because I'm a ninja type player. So here's all my extreme tracks. Or I'm looking for tracks by a certain creator who I saw on the forums. He's a great track creator, and I'd really like to get more of his tracks. You can sort by rating, you can sort by all kinds of things. So that's how you get the new content. So how do you actually create it? So for the editor, we've created two things here. We have the white editor for people like the majority of us who are not going to probably spend a lot of time in the pro editor learning the kind of the visual scripting language. With this editor, you simply lay down couple of checkpoints. You can build the track anywhere within the 2 kilometer by 4 kilometer kind of virtual trials world we've created, and you're off and running with a brand new track in a couple of minutes that you can share with your friends, no problem. But if you want to spend some time and really create some advanced content, kind of like what we've shown in the trailers, you're going to want to jump into the advanced editor. And to get you started, we're going to have a lot of video tutorials on the website and on the dashboard, but we're also going to include some example tracks that really show you the full power and depth of what we can do with the editor. So this is kind of a Xevious type clone. It's using the exact same editor and the same engine you would for the rest of the game. But what we did, we've moved the camera over for a top-down view, laid out all these 3D objects, and then spent a lot of time scripting all the logic here where you're moving, dodging, shooting, and trying not to get stuff blown up. So that's just one example. Let me show you a couple others. I'll show you the first-person shooter. So all this is done with the in-game editor. It's the exact same editor our guys use to create the mini games and all the tracks within the game. You're not tied to keeping the camera on the bike. In fact, you can get rid of the bike and rider altogether. Here we have a first-person shooter kind of prototype where you're simply running around, free roaming through the world in 3D. We can switch weapons, shoot targets, little scripted events for flyby airplanes, whatever you want. So these are about 5 or 6 examples that we'll include with the editor for people who really want to get in there, kind of create their own games, do their own thing. It's really there's no limit. The limit's really your imagination, your time, and your ability to get into the editor and create some awesome content. So here's the white editor. Pretty much everything's already set up for you. We're using the 2 by 4 kilometer virtual world. All you need to do is set your first checkpoint, set your second checkpoint, zoom in, and this is all there is to creating a super basic track. We can test it out really quick, and you'll see it's not going to be the most exciting track in the world, but it shows you how really with a few button presses you're creating a track in Trials. When you start learning more how to use the editor, of course, you add additional checkpoints, you can clone objects, you can move the terrain around. We have about 1,000 objects that you can put into the world. But this is really the basics of track editing. So as you zoom out here, we can see just how large of a virtual world we have. And you can see up in the upper right-hand corner, it's actually quite extensive space for you to build tracks in. Trials Evolution is coming to Xbox Live Arcade spring 2012. We don't have a specific date yet, but we're getting close. We hope to have an announcement pretty soon here.